Hello friends, looking at current affairs for 15th April. The news items picked up from the Hindu newspaper are these 12. We'll look at them in detail. The first one, India seeks consular access to Jadhav. So this is not a new news. We have already discussed this. Kulbhushan Jadhav, the retired Navy officer, has been arrested, allegedly arrested by Pakistan. They say from Balochistan province in Pakistan, where he is charged on charges of spying. So he has been sentenced to death by Pakistan military court. So this is the news. India has so far been denied consular access around 13 times. So again, India has sought consular access for him. So the appeal is possible. The Pakistan advisor to the Prime Minister on Foreign Affairs, Mr. Sartaj Aziz, he says that he can appeal on the charges as such. So within 40 days, he has to file an appeal in the appellate court, and within 60 days he can also lodge a mercy petition with the army chief. After that, he can another mercy petition. If that is rejected, another mercy petition can go to the president of Pakistan in 90 days. So these provisions are also there. So we'll see India is still working on getting consular access. Then next is giant US bomb kills 36 suspected IS militants. So this also we have discussed yesterday. This is GBU-43 bomb, called the largest conventional bomb ever used in combat. It is 9,797 kg bomb. So it has been bombed, dropped in Afghanistan. This is the province here, you can say Nangarhar. So Nangarhar province in Afghanistan is said to be the IS stronghold. So IS had declared this is part of its caliphate. This is bordering Pakistan, you can see here. So this is where the bomb was dropped, and the present news is that 36 suspected IS militants have been killed. There were no civilian casualties. So this you can see Nangarhar province or eastern Afghanistan. It's a base of Islamic State. Declared part of caliphate, has been renamed as Khorasan by the IS militants. Then next is, this is also showing the GBU-43 explosive yield. So you can see the explosive yield is much more than Hiroshima too. So this was there, but it is a non-nuclear bomb. It's a conventional bomb. So it's called MOAB, mother of all bombs. So another actual full form of that is shown here. You can see. So mother of all bombs is the terminology which is used for it. Otherwise, actually massive ordnance air blast bomb. GBU-43. The next is reforms in science set up sought. So this is the first original news. This is a news regarding a report which has been submitted now by the body which is comprising of all India's scientific departments heads, like Atomic Energy Department, the Space, Earth Science, Science and Technology, Biotechnology. So all the heads of these departments have submitted a report in which they have proposed that there should be an overarching science and technology body. So research and industry should go together. Only theoretical research without any application has no meaning. So this is what they are proposing, and this should be a body which should directly report to the Prime Minister. And they have proposed this body SPARK, Sustainable Progress Through Application of Research and Knowledge. So this has been recommended as such. So this, they say, a major challenge in funding of science by the government was that though science departments were headed by scientists, they could not take independent decisions. So directly reporting to the Prime Minister will ensure that it gets the requisite attention and funding as well. So this, the roadmap which I have put forth is that India should bring itself among the top 3 countries in science and technology by 2030 and ensure that at least 10% of the top 100 leaders in scientific fields are Indians. So Indian scientists are commemorated worldwide. So that is the aspect which we have in our favor. So the mediocre level of science presently within the country has to be taken higher through these reforms. So this is still department level recommendation which has been given. The next is Army uses civilian as shield, sparks outrage. So this is a video regarding a teenage protester being shot in the head from close range from Jammu and Kashmir. Another video showing a stone thrower tied in front of an army jeep and being paraded. So this is the 2 videos on which now an FIR has also been filed and the army has ordered a probe. Next is 60,000 under IT scanner. So this is the second phase of Operation Clean Money which has been launched presently. So this is to unearth black money. So the IT department will probe under this second phase 60,000 individuals including 1,300 high-risk persons for alleged excessive cash sales post demonetization. So this was the Operation Clean Mission. So the first phase had been launched post demonetization, seeing how if there are exceedingly high amount of money deposited in bank accounts, and now the second phase is being initiated for excessive sales post demonetization. So IT department has initiated this. So this you can see. Operation Clean Mission 1 was this large amount of cash deposits. Next is PM launches Bhim Aadhaar application. So Bhim Aadhaar application has been launched now. So Bhim has already been initiated. It has been the most downloaded app as such too. So this is a rebranded version of Unified Public Interface and USSD. So this is a merchant app. So what it requires is the merchant should have this Bhim application and a biometric reader or a fingerprint scanner. So what happens is that the customers don't need any phone or any debit or credit card also. All they need is a bank account linked to Aadhaar card. So once they have that, the Aadhaar number being added in Aadhaar card also that can be accessed through this biometric fingerprint scanner. So once they have an Aadhaar linked bank account, the app can be used for making the transactions. So this is the Bhim Aadhaar app. Next is Allahabad High Court becomes pilot project for case backlog studies. So Supreme Court was hearing a petition here by a convict in a murder case who was seeking bail. So this he had appealed on his conviction in the Allahabad High Court, and this has not been heard on for 10 years. More than 10 years, for over a decade, a hearing has also not been given. So now he is seeking bail in Supreme Court. So when this case came before the Supreme Court said that it was many a times that the judiciary has called for actions being taken to tackle the backlog of cases in high courts and trial courts. But there are no results. This is another example that this is the status of case backlogs. So many people, they stay behind bars, under trial, staying behind bars till the conviction is also done. So such cases are also there. So the Supreme Court says that this is violation of fundamental right to speedy trial and disposition of criminal appeals. So this is a right to life under Article 21. So this is also interpreted as a fundamental right that you should have a speedy trial and disposal of criminal appeals done at the earliest possible. So the Supreme Court has now decided that this Allahabad High Court will be put under a microscope as a pilot project to investigate how high courts deal with pendency of cases. So now the study would be done. The Supreme Court has also appointed a judge, an advocate. Senior advocates have been roped in to assist the Supreme Court. Real-time statistics from Allahabad High Court will be submitted. The Supreme Court has also clarified that selection of Allahabad High Court, which is one of the oldest high courts in the country, is not any comment on its functioning or any deficiency as such. It's just a pilot project being initiated now. So in judicial backlogs, this is an important step taken. The next is digital trade zooms 23 times. So this is regarding the Digidhan Melas. So now the Niti Aayog is giving its statement that Digidhan Mela initiative has been held across 100 cities in the country to create awareness about digital payments, and it has been successful. So these digital transactions have increased 23 times since November 2016. So comparing November 2016 data with March 2017, you see 23 times increase in digital transactions. So the new initiatives have been taken like Aadhaar enabled payment systems, immediate payment system service transactions. So these have also increased manifold. Even Bhim app, it says it created a new world record by registering 1.9 crore downloads in just 4 months since its launch in December 2016. So Bhim app had already been launched presently on 14th April on Babasaheb Ambedkar's Jayanti. Bhim was his name too, Bhimrao Ambedkar. So on this day, what was launched is the Bhim Aadhaar app. So Aadhaar being linked with it. So this was the rebranded version of it. So this Digidhan Melas are also mentioned. It's in the Niti Aayog's report. It says that it has helped and enabled lakhs of people to open new bank accounts as well as create new Aadhaar cards. So what is required is Aadhaar linked bank account. So that is what the government is emphasizing on. If that is in place, then you don't need any debit credit card also. You don't need a mobile phone also. POS, point of sale devices, which are there in the shops, they can take in only your Aadhaar number. When you have your Aadhaar number and confirmation, your biometric information is confirmed, matching is done, that is, the biometric reader is required, a fingerprint scanner as such, and once that is matched, the transaction can be done. So that is what is being emphasized on here. So DigiDhan Melas are also initiated, creating awareness about digital transactions. This is the IMPS, Immediate Payment Service, which is being listed out here. So this is instant money transfer. Immediate Payment Service means instant money transfer through mobile phone or online as such. So what is it requires is the mobile number of the remitter and the beneficiary. They should be linked to their respective bank accounts. So once that is in place, then you can easily transfer money. So mobile money identifier is generated as such. And this can take place 24/7, 365 days a year, though no time when it does not work. So it's available anytime. So this is there. Then Aadhaar enabled payment system. So these, as I just spoke of, this is the POS, point of sale device, which is there in shops. So here it is linked to the biometric reader too. So with that, the Aadhaar enabled payment systems, if you provide your bank name and Aadhaar number, you can see. So it choose what transaction. In this there are choices also. You can choose to have a balance inquiry, cash withdrawal, cash deposit. So all that is possible. So once that is there, you can give your fingerprint scanner, print on scanner, and once that transaction is successful, the print slip is generated and your transaction is completed. So this is AEPS, Aadhaar enabled payment system. The next is tea exports likely to drop after healthy rise in financial year 2016. So tea exports, we have been seeing the tea sector for some time now, how tea estates have declared bankruptcy, how the planters there are trying to shut down, and the people working in these tea estates are suffering. So many tea units want to be declared as sick units as such too. That was also the news. Tea production had gone low. Now tea production being good and exports were good. Now again news is coming of the tea sector suffering because of decline in exports expected now. So this is with the case because of bumper crop in Kenya and Bangladesh. So because of this, there's excess supply of tea in the international market. So India's exports may be affected. So this is the news. The next is a Saturn moon may host life. So this is NASA's Cassini spacecraft. So this is on a 13-year mission which will now get over in September 2017. So it has been going around the planet, and finally it will go between the planet Saturn and its rings, go for 22 orbits, and finally end with a crash into Saturn's atmosphere in September. So this Cassini spacecraft of NASA has suggested that this icy moon of Saturn, Enceladus, so this can be home to microbes or other alien life forms too. So this possibility is there because there is a gas erupting out of Enceladus. So this is a small moon. It is in the outer solar system. So this small moon has ocean of liquid water beneath its icy crust. So this ocean water here, it contains hydrogen. So on Earth also, whenever there are these hydrothermal vents, then there are microorganisms staying there. So similar to Earth, like there are microbial life forms here, so there can be microbial life forms in Enceladus hydrothermal vents too. So that is a possibility. So this you can see. So Cassini, in the 13 years of its mission, has explored Saturn, its moon and its moons and its rings also. So this is about Cassini, about Enceladus, of a moon of Saturn. Another moon of Jupiter as such, Europa. So this is one of the Jupiter's big moons. This is also expected to possess, an ocean beneath its icy exterior. So similar plumes are rising from Europa also. You can see this is the icy layer, top layer. Then this is an ocean. You can see. So this is an ocean beneath the icy layer, and these are the hydrothermal vents. So this plumes emerging from here. So similar case is also there on Europa. So Hubble Space Telescope has spotted this on Europa, Jupiter's moon. So life is possible is what is being said in these moons. Then this is regarding the Cassini spacecraft. So, and this is regarding the Hubble Space Telescope, again of NASA. It was launched in 1990. Should be knowing that this will be replaced by James Webb Telescope. So that is the successor to Hubble now, which will be launched. The next is manuscript treasure trove being digitized at Bohri. So this Bohri, Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute in Pune, this is digitizing manuscripts in Sanskrit, Pali, Prakrit. So these are being digitized. So an e-library is being developed. So this institute is also named after the famous Indologist R.G. Bhandarkar. So the National Mission for Manuscripts, which was launched in 2003, had also selected Bori, this institute, as one of the 32 manuscript resource and conservation centers across the country. So National Mission for Manuscripts, it was launched in 2003 by Ministry of Tourism and Culture. Presently, it's an autonomous body under Ministry of Culture, because Tourism Culture Ministry has been separated now. It's a body under Ministry of Culture now. So you can see it was an ambitious 5-year project with specific objective of locating, documenting, conserving and disseminating the knowledge content of Indian manuscripts. So Indian manuscripts preservation steps have been taken for long, but what is important in this news is that it is being digitized too. So that it will be making it more long lasting and in as such storage being ensured. So this is regarding that. Then so this Kriti Sampada is the national database of manuscripts. So this provides access to metadata in form of manuscript collection. So metadata means data about data. So this about the manuscripts, data about the manuscripts as such will be provided. Then the last news item is Oman may hold clues to reversing climate change. So this is regarding Al Hajjar mountain. So these are the jagged red mountains of Oman. So here the geologists are searching this region and studying the region here for efficient ways to remove carbon dioxide from air and oceans. So this is an initiative which can help in reversing climate change. So in climate change we talk of two things. One we are talking of reducing carbon emissions. So that is one thing, and the carbon which is already present in the atmosphere, that being removed. So that is another aspect of climate change. So this is what they are talking of, reversing climate change, what has already been done, undoing it. So this is possible here because this Al Hajjar mountains in Oman here are one of the world's only exposed sections of the Earth's mantle. So Earth's mantle is exposed here, means the crust, the mantle and the core which we have. So the mantle is visible. So Earth's mantle was thrust up by plate tectonics millions of years ago. So this mantle contains a rock, peridotite. So this rock reacts with carbon in air and water to form marble and limestone. So it means carbon can be absorbed in. So this is being studied now. So the geological history of the process that turns carbon dioxide into this carbonate in the form of marble limestone will be studied by geologists, and how this process, if possible, can be speeded up. So then reversing climate change would be possible. So this is the news regarding that. Also they say a drilling operation can be initiated. So this carbon rich water can be put in this region, and then the submerged rocks would chemically absorb carbon from the water, and then water can be also brought back up on the atmosphere, and then further it's called like a conveyor belt, or carbon sucked in and water brought out. So this can be done in this region. So research is going on up. So this is the Oman. You can see the mantle section here as it is shown. This is exposed. So this is the news. Thank you.